Hey guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a reboot channel because I took like a very long erratic hiatus. Like I was posting infrequently, but I have like water on my lips. But I feel so motivated right now. I feel like I'm in a good groove. I've been posting daily, and I feel like now is the time I really want to focus on my YouTube channel. So today's going to be a reboot video, and we're going to discuss what you can expect. I was like, was discuss the right word? We're going to discuss what to expect on my channel. So this channel is going to be for the stay-at-home moms, the people who are yoga enthusiasts, who like yoga, who like to do fitness, and for the crafters. So like that's why I feel like it's really hard for me to find a niche, and that's why it's been so hard just for so many years. But I'm just gonna try my best here just to be consistent. Like that's the energy I've been putting into this second half of the year. And kind of, I don't want to go, it's gonna be like a million off topics we're gonna go on, but like why I took my hiatus this past time, I actually didn't like where I was living. I did not like living in that apartment, my previous apartment. I did not like living there. It had like the worst lighting. It had the worst vibe. I just did not have a good experience there. So that's what demotivated me from wanting to vlog or do videos. Like I've done a few there, but I mainly tried to do videos at the studio. Because we were moving from a loft to this place. It was a 2-bedroom, had a balcony, but it was so basic. There were no appliances, and I ended up buying my own appliances. Like I brought a dryer, and we were gifted a washer for our baby shower, like a apartment washer, and I had an apartment size dryer that I had purchased. And then we brought an air fryer and a camper dishwasher. It's an apartment dishwasher as well, but that's the dishwasher you always see in my videos. I love that dishwasher. It's perfect for my size family, and I probably run it twice in a day because it's so compact. But I was just not motivated to film. And then after having my son, I had postpartum D. So I don't know, like I knew my body was going to change, and I was preparing myself for it. I really needed to find my style again. Leading up to it, like I was trying out minimalism, and like my dad, he still asks me like, are you a minimalist? And I'm actually like not even sure what I am now. I'm just me. And like that's what I've just been accepting. So like my style has been changing. I feel like I got some drip now. Like as corny as that sounds, like I feel like I got some drip. Like I love these overalls. I was filming a vlog earlier, and I'm like, I don't know if I should post this, but I really wanted to do a sit down because it's been a while since I've done a sit down video. But yeah, coming out of postpartum D, when you make it out of there, you, by the skins of your teeth, like that's like the most crawling. It's like the word moist to people. That saying, that like that's how it was when you finally make it out of postpartum D. It's such a relief. I feel like so motivated now, and it just didn't help because we had to close the studio, and I had put so much energy into that space, the design, buying all of the decor. We had to like donate some of the stuff. Like I was gonna sell it. People weren't like, look, I don't know what it is. I don't, if this video reaches you, that's amazing, because like I don't know if it like don't be pushing any of my posts or any of my listings, but I had some really good quality stuff that wasn't even like a year old or 2 years old. I gave away my Duna. I don't plan on having any more kids. I don't know, because like Carrie's an only child, and I did an all-natural birth, so I don't know if I want to go through that again. And Carrie like definitely doesn't want to see all of that. Like I'm not saying that like in a bad way, but like we're so empathic to each other. He could feel like what I was going through. So like, you know, to put me through it again, that, you know, so that's why. But I can finally say I'm out of postpartum D. I'm ready to focus on myself. I'm ready to elevate myself and feel good about myself. Like, I felt very D. Like, I'm censoring myself, but hopefully you understand the context. After having my son, but like I'm not mad at my son or anything like that. It was a huge change for me. The hormones were setting in. I did this all unmedicated. But the studio, like I'm probably talking in circles, but when the studio closed, that made me very sad. And like, I knew it was coming to that point, and I was just trying to put all of this energy into our GoFundMe. And I'm going to start our GoFundMe. Like, I never closed the GoFundMe, but I'm going to, quote, reopen the GoFundMe so we can actually find like a good space to bring back in-person classes. So right now we're doing online classes on Zoom. We're Central Time if you ever want to join us or support a class. There's yoga and fitness classes to choose from. So we've been doing virtual classes. We had to switch to that. The landlord has literally just been an asshole here. I had couple people stopped by and he got mad. He saw some cars parked out in front of the house, and it was like so many cars, and he assumed like everybody was at my house. I had 3 people over, and like, you know, that's weird for a landlord to ask that. Like, do I have to tell you who's in my house at times? You know what I mean? So like, I was literally doing the most harmless thing. I was teaching yoga to 3 people, and that was like, he got mad at that. And so that was that. So now we had to switch completely to virtual. So that has been a financial hit, and we lost some of our students because they really enjoyed the in-person aspect. So if you do want to support my channel and support what I do, that's all in the description. And I'm trying to build back up our virtual classes and virtual audience. Yeah, it's just, that was a huge transition and why I was so deep for so long, you know. So I'm out of that. I'm feeling just motivated again. I'm sorry if, like, I don't want it to sound like I'm sad now, and like, I'm actually genuinely happy. But so my channel is going to be focusing more on yoga classes. So if you guys want to let me know times that work for you, that would be great. And then also with crafting. So like, my life with crafting now has changed so much. When I had to stop doing art. I didn't have to, but like, I feel like I forced myself to, out of like a trauma response, I suppose, because I was doing art my entire life up until like 18 years old, when I was in the advanced placement, the AP art classes. I remember I finished out with I finished with drawing, AP drawing and AP painting, and I loved it so much. That year I even had one of my pieces published in a book, and it was just so much going on. I was working at Home Depot. By the way, I wrote a book, as silly as this sounds as a plug, but I wrote a book, and it goes through all of this in more depth if you're curious about it. That book is The Art and Truth of Transformation for Women. I'm one of 19 authors in that book, and I shared my story of the last 5 years about my yoga journey and the struggle with like my mom being a support to me. So that's all more in depth in that book, and I can link that down below too. But at the time, I was just going through so much. My parents were about to lose their house, so I had to figure out where I was gonna live. So I started kind of documenting my journey. So if you're here from 2015, that's crazy. Like, you even stayed here. It's like dust the cobwebs off the other chairs here. But like, so like, I started just filming videos with Carrie, my boyfriend at the time. Now he's my husband, and I love him so much. But I had to say that. I was just documenting videos with him. The videos and doing YouTube was making me happy at the time. My parents were losing their house, and like, I really didn't know what to do. I was kind of living in scarcity, because all my life I was told I was spoiled. Like, my dad, he loved me. The genuine love my dad has. I love him so much, but he would spoil me, and quote, and like when I would ask for something, it'd be around my birthday or a holiday, or like just a kid, you know, wanting stuff. Like that's what kids do. And like my mom would say I'm spoiled and I'm ungrateful, ungrateful, and ungrateful. Like just always like that rings still in my ear, and probably contribute to the PPD. So, like, I don't know. It's just like I'm fine talking about it now, but like I just never had the support I did from my mom growing up pursuing art. She didn't even want me to do yoga, but once, like, you know, living in scarcity, and money was always an issue. I just, you know, I just wanted to make sure I had a job. So I was working at Home Depot and slowly paying towards my yoga teaching. So you can watch way far back. I was doing yoga teacher trainings. So I actually vlogged a few of those. I was doing those videos. Those were making me happy and excited because I wanted to be able to look back on those videos. And I'm actually eager, this is another side note, to go back to Burlington where I did most of my teacher trainings, because I really feel like I'm called to go back and be a student. Like I'm always a student and always trying to learn, but to be back in the space and do a teacher training. So I want to do that very soon. And my master teacher actually contacted me because she saw my embroidered socks that I was making, and she's like, do you want to come to our market? So I'm trying to get, like, just hang in with me. About the markets, but I'm so excited. Like I really want to say yes to this. It is like over an hour drive there, so I haven't committed to it yet. I'm still thinking about it because she asked me like a day or so ago, but I gotta make sure if my dad's gonna come, because my dad, he helped set up with me on at our markets, set up the huge tent. Like I post about my markets all the time, but yeah, so I don't want to wiggle you guys so many directions, but I just always lived in scarcity, basically wrapping this up, and trying to make sure I had enough money and, you know, whatever. I've never been late on my bills since being an adult, or even like before being an adult and having like the responsibilities of like food, or I didn't really pay, like they would ask me sometimes to pay for the phone bill, but like I didn't make enough really to give money towards that. But like if I did, I did. But like I guess my adult responsibilities, I paid for my driver's ed, that's right. Like responsibilities like that growing up, I always made sure I had money for that, and like I've never been late on a bill, and I've always had money to pay the bills, and like even if it's $1 or $2 in my account, I've always had that. And that's just with low wages, honestly. Like I don't feel like I was ever like irresponsible spending, because it was literally ingrained in my head since a child to live in scarcity, and like, oh, we're not going to buy that today, or you know, whatever. I don't want to get too much or go down that rabbit hole. But being an adult and like this transformation into becoming a mother, I felt like I couldn't spend things on myself. Like I had to justify, or I wasn't justifying, but like I would only buy stuff for like the studio. This plant would look nice in this space, but like I don't want to buy myself some new shoes, even though it's been like a year or so since I've brought a new pair of shoes. And I do have the means to do it. You know, like, so that was kind of the mindset I was living with, and I'm still speaking this, I'm slowly coming out of that mindset. Okay, so that was the mindset. I'm slowly coming out of that, and I'm buying stuff for me, and I'm really going full in with my art and my creativity. I got a new Cricut, I got a new workspace, a new printer this year, and I've just been slowly collecting back things to really do what I want to do. When I was little, my career was to be a fashion designer and an architect. And you have to do a lot of math to be an architect. And I was not about going to school and considering like the financial thing with my parents going on. And why would I put myself in this debt? And I can barely afford to provide for myself. So anyway, that's why I just didn't become an architect, but I'm going in the direction of being a fashion designer. So a yoga therapist and designing my own clothing brand. If you can't tell, True Jackson VP and Raven, or That's So Raven, those two were so pivotal in my life. of doing what I'm doing now. None of them relate to yoga, but I don't know. That happened in my junior year of high school. My gym teacher had like a yoga unit and I really liked it, and then I just started messing around with that, and then started messing around with teacher trainings, and now we're here. So that's how that happened. But I'm getting back into markets, and I would do wellness ones here and there for the studio I would promote, but now like actual craft fairs and craft markets, it's gotten to the point I'm in Facebook groups where you can post the events coming up, you can secure your spot, there's contact information to contact the host or whatever. So I made a goal for myself to do 5 craft shows this year, and so far I've done 3, and I'm honestly getting nervous. Like, I don't know if I'm going to hit my goal this year because it's getting colder, and having to pack up all of that stuff and hauling that in the inclement weather does not sound the most satisfying. Or anyway, I feel like I may just be getting in the way of myself. But I was asked to go down to Burlington to do a craft fair with my master teacher at her space, and there's some other ones I've been looking at, but I don't know, so pray for me. My channel is also going to be about daily vlogs and being a mom, obviously. So I have a 1-year-old. Growing up with him has been exciting. I've always wanted to be a mom, and now to be a stay-at-home mom. I can see him every day. I can hug on him. I can love him every day. I can cook for him. Like, that was the one thing I was looking forward to. I'm not going to say I'm the best cook or a cook at all, but I just love making meals for him and seeing all the different flavors and just nourishing my son and seeing, just, you know, that's your baby, right? If you can relate. So that's it. I don't want this video to drag out. So that's the direction of my channel, where we're going to be heading from here. I'm so glad I got this motivation, and I've literally been vlogging or posting every day. I am really trying to take my YouTube seriously because obviously for exposure, and it would be good for our studio, but I want to document my life, and I want to be able to look back on this and when my son was little, because like it's cool to see Carrie and I when we were dating and we were younger, but then there's like that hiatus I took. I'm not saying because it's so recent that I know I remember it now, but like, you know, who knows in 10 years, like if I want to really remember what happened, like, you know, I can think from my memories, but to see it in video form, you know. So that's why I'm getting into doing daily vlogs. So if you want to come along for the ride, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can turn your post notifications on. I've been actually trying to film, edit, and post in the same day. So this video, I'm gonna hold me to it. It's Friday at 3:54. So I'm going to try to post it later this evening. So turn your post notifications on. The post will probably be later in the evening, unless early, very early in the morning, if I don't get to it by the evening. What the heck was that? Somebody's car is going off as I'm doing this intro. But alright guys, like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I will see you guys later.